Imagine parking and charging without cables or cruising on a highway that charges your car as you drive. Sounds futuristic, but it's already real and rolling out now. This is why wireless charging will change how we own and use EVs. Today we will unpack wireless EV charging from the ground up, how it works, the real numbers, efficiency, typical power levels, and payback, the big pilots and standards that matter, and the practical trade-offs that will decide if and when you should care. I'll connect each part with one simple thread. This technology solves convenience and infrastructure problems, but it brings efficiency losses, new costs, and rollout challenge. By the end, you will know when wireless is nice to have and when it becomes must-have. How wireless charging actually works. Simple physics. Wireless EV charging uses resonant inductive coupling. A coil in the ground or charger pad creates an oscillating magnetic field, and a matching coil under the car picks up the energy and converts it to DC for the battery. Think of it as a transformer with air gap. The system needs alignment, communication between car and pad, and power electronics to control frequency and safety. The current industry standard for light and medium vehicle is SAE J2954, which defines practical wireless classes up to about 11 kW today, similar to common level 2 charging, and lays the groundwork for higher classes later. This means you can get overnight style power wirelessly at home or workplaces without plugging in, and industry players are designing pads that guide the driver or even auto positions vehicles for best coupling. Real numbers, power, efficiency, and what they mean for you. Here's the data everyone asks for. Current SAE J2954 implementations target roughly 3.7 kW, 7.7 kW, and up to 11 kW for passenger cars, comparable to many level 2 wired chargers, with modern commercial systems reporting field efficiencies in the 85 to 93% range depending on alignment and gap. That's slightly below plug-in level 2 wired efficiency, but close enough that many users accept the trade for the daily convenience. For fleet and buses, manufacturers have demonstrated wireless systems deliver 50 to above 200 kilowatts, and some depot solutions claims over 90% efficiency in practice. That means high utilization fleets can charge vehicles in short spurts during service without handling plugs, and heavy vehicles can get meaningful energy in minutes. Why wireless solves real problems: convenience, safety, and operations. Wireless charging removes human error. No fumbling cables in the rain, no corroded connectors, and simpler interfaces for non-technical users. That matters hugely for shared or public fleets where every minute of downtime costs money. Wireless depot chargers can top buses while they load, cutting downtime and labor. For private drivers, the convenience of park and forget is a strong daily benefit that increases the real charging adherence. People are far more likely to plug in if it's automatic. Industry pilots and vendors argue this convenience drives higher utilization of off-peak charging and greater uptake overall. But efficiency and cost trade-offs you can't ignore. Wireless is not free. The air gap and coupling imperfections cause energy losses. Those 85 to 93% numbers mean you might pay 7 to 15% more electricity per kilowatt hour delivered compared to a best case wired setup. Installations is also more expensive. Ground pads, excavations, or embedments, control electronics, and vehicle side hardware add cost compared to a simple wall box. Market forecasts show the bulk of wireless deployments focusing on the 11 to 50 kilowatt band in the near term, where the convenience case plus fleet economics can justify the premium. The big pilots and the dynamic future, roads that charge while you drive. The technology isn't just for parking. Countries and companies are testing electrified roads, coils embedded under the lanes that charge the vehicle in motion, with pilot projects in Sweden and other places. These dynamic solutions promise range extension on long haul and a shift in how we size batteries. Smaller batteries plus roadside charging could lower vehicle costs. Sweden's trial and other demonstrators show viability, but full road deployment faces huge civil engineering costs and questions about maintenance and standardization. Alignment, interoperability, and standards are critical. If every maker builds its own pad geometry and protocol, the user experience collapses. That's why standards like SAE J2954 matter. They set interoperability rules and safety requirements so any certified car can use any certified pad. Vendors like Vitricity and Momentum Dynamics are building to those standards while also pushing high power and control features for fleets. Standards give fleet operators and cities confidence to invest, but the full ecosystem maturity will take years of certification and cross-vendor testing. The economics when wireless pays off. Wireless makes the most economic sense when the convenience saves labor, like depots, taxis, robo-fleets, or panel or connector maintenance costs are high, or you can monetize the uptime, like buses, delivery vans, or you combine wireless pad with smart energy management and on-site renewables. Market forecasts predicts strong growth in the 11 to 50 kilowatt segment because it balances cost and utility for commercial and some residential use. But for single-car homeowner on tight budget, wired level 2 still wins on pure cost per kilowatt hour today. The rollout paradox. Wireless compromises convenience and new use cases, but its advantages depend on scale and standards. A single driveway pad is neat, but the full vision, roads, or public lots with universal pads need coordinated infrastructure spending, consistent standards, and affordable vehicle hardware. Without those, the market fractures into proprietary islands and the promise stalls. The technical pain points that slow adoption. Key engineering challenges that still matter. Misalignment losses. Cars parked off-center. Metallic objects between pads, foreign object detection, water, snow, and dirt on pads. Electromagnetic interface concerns. Electromagnetic interface concerns and the added vehicle weight and cost of onboard coils. Studies and reviews list these as solvable but not trivial engineering regulatory hurdles. Use cases and rollout roadmap I expect over the next 5 to 10 years. Short term, between like 1 to 3 years, widespread pilots at airports, taxi depots, bus depots, and premium residential complexes. Expect more certified SAE J2954 11 kilowatt pads and OEM partnerships to appear. Vendors target commercial fleets first because ROI is fastest. Medium term between 3 to 7 years. Broader public chargers in malls and workplaces, integration with parking management systems, and more OEMs offering vehicle side kits as options. Energy efficiency improves as alignment technology and paths converge. Market analysts predict the 11 to 50 kilowatt segment to dominate growth during this phase. Long term, between 7 to 15 years. Selective dynamic charging lanes on highway usage corridors and urban delivery routes in early adopter countries. Small battery packs on some vehicle classes and potentially vehicle architecture optimized for wireless first operation. But only where civil works and policy supports exist. Early electrified road pilots suggest the heavy-duty segment could lead here. What consumers should do right now? If you're a private buyer, consider wireless if convenience matters enough to pay a premium. If you park in tight or public lots where fumbling a cable is a pain, or if your house already has a smart energy system. Otherwise, a wired level 2 is cheaper and more efficient. If you're a fleet or a municipality, test aggressively now. Airports and transit depots are where the fastest ROI is happening. The smart move is to pilot, measure energy loss and uptime gains, and use those numbers to scale. The tipping point when wireless becomes mainstream. Wireless hits mainstream when three things line up: standards and vehicle OEM support. So every car works with every pad. Cost parity or clear ROI for leading use cases, fleets, parking operators, and robust public pilots proving long-term reliability in all weather. Once those boxes are checked, the convenience benefit will drive consumer demand. And the rollout accelerates. Right now, we are mid-pilot. The pieces exist, the economics are emerging for fleets, and the standards like SAE J2954 provide a roadmap. But mass consumer ubiquity will take a few years. Wireless charging is no longer a sci-fi dream. It's a practical standards-backed technology that's already saving money and time for fleets and delivering true convenience for early residential adapters. But it's not yet the cheapest or most efficient option for every single homeowner. The winners will be operators and cities that pilot now and scale where ROI and standards line up.